Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be ranking all of the 15, what are they called, reinforcements, from worst to best. It's a different style of video, and I'm not doing a forest, unfortunately, but I'll see how it goes. So, the worst reinforcement, in my opinion, is the Ewok Hunter. He has some unique abilities, like Hunter's Instincts, where he can sort of like see other people. I guess he like sniffs them or something, gets their scent. But the Ewok Hunter, in my opinion, is so badly weak. I think, like the bow and arrow which he has, where he has this kind of arrow tracking, where whenever he shoots it leads onto them, I think does nowhere near enough damage. And the sniping thing takes up so much charge, it takes for like ever to load. And if you don't, and if you miss, you have to wait those like precious 5 seconds again for it to charge. Then he's got these Whisties, which are like, I guess, little fireflies, which I'd say are alright, they do a bit of damage, but still, they're not enough. I think the Ewok Hunter, he's good, because he's small, so he's got a very small hitbox, but he's too weak. Okay, then at number 14, we have all of the aerial troopers. These guys are basically the same troopers, every single aerial, except they've got different looks. They have 3 abilities, which are alright. I mean, the ability of them is great, and how the evade is a little jetpack jump, and they have like a literal like jetpack which allows them to fly across the map. Except the controls for it are annoying, because you can click it and it takes you in one direction. This is like Boba Fett's jetpack allows you to hover in the air and go like different ways with it and do all sorts. But aerial jetpacks just do literally nothing. Like, you click the button and then you fly along. So that's why I'm putting them at 14. Okay then, at number 13 we have the ISB agent. Now she is actually quite similar to, what are they called? Sith troopers. But she's different. She is like an officer, basically. So she has the dual-wielding pistols, where if I can actually find some enemies here. I mean, they do a bit of damage, but not too much. But then she has the alternate fire, which is like the ARC troopers, which is alright. It does a bit of damage. And then she has this ability with the one that I've just activated here. So if I just cancel it quick, hang on, I can't. So basically, the left ability allows her to have extra sprint speed, which I think is quite handy. It's good for getting out of fights if you're low on health, which she can be quite a bit. What else? Then she's got the scan ability, which is great because you can see like every single troop near you, which is just what I need. So that way I can do flanks. So that's quite handy. What else does she have? Oh, and then I can't show you it because I don't have any other troops with me. But she has an ability like the Officer's Command, which is a support ability, which helps fellow troops, like gives them extra health and buffs them. But yeah, she's not really the best in my opinion. Like, she could be a lot better. Like, if she maybe did more damage with the pistols, or I don't know, just had something a bit better about her. She's just not too good in my opinion. Then, coming in at number 12, we have the Flame Trooper. Now the Flame Trooper, I think, used to not be that good of a reinforcement. His reach was way too small, and his damage wasn't the best. Now I think that the Flame Trooper's changed, and he's actually quite good now, especially in close quarters maps, like Starkiller Base down hallways, and when you play Supremacy, he's brilliant on the First Order Resurgent Star Destroyers. He's also quite a good reinforcement in general. He has 3 abilities. He has his incendiary, like, imploder grenade thing, which is amazing. It sets out 1 wave of fire, and then it shoots off little shrapnel off the side. As you can see here, his damage still isn't the best. Then his other abilities are, he's got a Fortify ability, which just gives him a bit of extra health, which is very handy for when you're coming down corridors and burning heavies like that. And then his final ability is an Overload ability, which is very helpful. Infinite heat, you can just stand here spraying. And with a combo where you've got Fortify and this equipped, you can basically just walk down a corridor, burning everyone to bits. But then, in the most recent update, and the final one, the SHAREf update, he's now been given a ranged ability, where he can shoot like a little fireball out of his gun, which is quite good. It finally gives him something extra to him. See, like that, bit of range. But he's still not the best. But he's alright. He's got better than he used to be. Alright, so coming on at number 11, we have the KFX Spy, who is the, what's it called, I keep forgetting its name. It'll come back to me. But they're for the Resistance. And now I think they're alright. Their rapid fire ability is absolutely amazing for this Glee, because the Glee gun, the Glee, I don't know how you say it, is actually a really good gun. It does quite a bit of damage, and with the rapid fire and full headshots, it's actually amazing. But then, the KFX's other good ability, before we move on to the downsides of her, or it, or whatever it is. Okay then, so the KFX's other good ability is this. It's an orbital strike, which also provides a scanner. If you've got enemy troops in it, it kills them. See? So all of those guys I just killed using my orbital strike. And now we can move on to the two downsides of it. So first of all, we have the truncheon strike. Oh my god, they just murdered me. So the truncheon strike, which is their melee attack, like the what's it called, vibro sword for the commander droid. It's sort of like an improved melee, I guess, but it's not really the best in my opinion. The vibro sword allows the droid to leap forwards at his opponents, yet the truncheon, you have to be super up close and personal with the enemy if you want to use it. Like, if I can just, oh my god, I just keep getting murdered. I'll find a good example. A vibro sword, we'll be able to reach them, but it's just not as good as the vibro sword. So that's one of its downsides, how the truncheon you have to be close with, and if the enemy's using a vanguard, you are so dead. Oh, I'm dying anyway to these. But then its other downside is its gun. Its firing rate seems to have been improved, but it's still just slow. I just think, compared to other guns like a TL-50 for instance, it is just utterly useless, literally. So that's why the KFX Spy has been ranked for my ranking video at number 11. Okay, so at ranking number 10, we have the First Order Jet Trooper. Now, the First Order Jet Trooper is not like the other aerials that I said were just not very good earlier. I absolutely love this aerial because of their really unique abilities. So, first of all, if you hold down the jump button, they fly up. When you hold down the aiming button, it allows them to hover in the air. Therefore, you are having some serious damage from the sky, and easy headshots. I think I should have even ranked this thing higher, it's so good. So that's just one of its abilities, having like a great jetpack that allows you to do this. And then its other good abilities are how it has the jetpack tackle, which allows you to fly into an enemy, knocking them over, kind of like Han Solo's shoulder charge. And it's just a good way of dealing damage. And then its final other ability is how it can change its blaster variation. So it can change from a usual blaster into a flipping grenade launcher, which in my opinion is very good. Literally, I can just shoot down at the Resistance and shoot them all. It's brilliant. And when you've got tons of enemies all in one big group, it's really easy to just gather up kills by using it. That's why they are being ranked at number 10. Okay then, so next on the list we have the Separatist Droideka, which I think are a really unique and good unit. First of all, their blasters are brilliant. They fire fast and deal good damage, which is what we want to see. They have a really good shield ability, which basically for the Droideka you're always going to need activated, because if I just stand here without it, look at how much damage I take. The shield is basically the only way for the Droideka to survive. So that's the one downfall, but the shield is a good shield. It holds up and it's strong. But when you've got it activated, you can't go back into a roll with it. You've got to keep it up. Okay, then we've got another overload ability, which is what I'm using right now. It gathers up no heat, and the blaster rate is incredibly fast. Look, watch this. I have to put up my shield. And then its final other ability is, in my opinion, it's like the most unique ability in the game, and it's a brilliant ability. It's how it can roll. When it rolls, it allows it to go much faster than any other unit. See, look at this, racing around the battlefield. And when it's rolling, it also has a jump. The jump decreases the speed, but it allows you to get over big objects. And it's really easy to maneuver while rolling. For instance, I can go all the way around these without falling off. See, like, just like that. Really easy and super duper fun to play with. At number 8, I think, we have the Wookiee Warrior. I've never played Nighttime. It's really nice in this map. Yeah, so the Wookiee Warrior is one of the 2 enforcers for the Galactic Republic, who I think is a really good enforcer, actually. Like, sure, there are better ones on the list, but it's still pretty good. So the Wookiee Warrior has 4 different things it can do. So first of all, it's got, when you don't aim down its scope, it's got the gun like this, where it shoots 3 blaster bolts all the time, but this one's more for width. And then when you aim, because you're a more accurate shot, which goes straight up, therefore allowing you to get a shot like that on someone. Now obviously, that can get you killed, because you move much slower. So then the other 3 abilities are, first of all, they have got, what's it called, this like slamming ability. Yeah, it does like barely any damage, so that's its worst thing. The slamming ability could be much better, but it does like weak damage compared to Chewbacca's, which is an amazing ability. I think the slam is better for once you've hit the enemies quite a few times, you can then use a slam. And then its other 2 abilities are a Fortify, like almost all the enforcers, which is actually amazing for the Wookiee Warrior. So he's got another width shot like this, and then he's also got one of the more accurate ones, both of which I think are all pretty good. And then he's got the most OP weapon in the game, the Thermal Imploder. It wipes out like anyone it's near. It's such a good grenade. If you could equip this for a normal troop in the game, it would basically just be an instant win. I love this grenade, and I quite like this reinforcement. He's really good, he's quite balanced, and the one thing that I think could be improved is either his rate of fire or the damage that his slam ability does. Okay. So at good work. At number 7, we have the ARC Trooper, who used to be much better than this, but he's still pretty good now. So the ARC Trooper never actually looks like this. He's not black and yellow. It's just the skin that I have equipped for him, which I think he's really good. So he has an alternate fire, just like the ISB agent, where when you hold down the aim button, he charges up a bolt and he shoots that. He also has a electric stun grenade, which is amazing, because it will either kill the infantry, or knock them onto the floor, where they're helpless and easy to get a kill on. I'll show you what he looks like without the skin on, so... I can't, dang it, I'll have to show you in another video. So then, what else has he got? So he's got his scanning ability, which is brilliant. It shows you all of the, like, clankers around the map, I guess. And then he's also got where you can switch to an alternate fire. So, not an alternate fire, sorry, it's like, the other fire. I always use this. It's got a much increased fire rate and damage output because of how fast he shoots, but it's way less accurate. So that's the one downside about it. But it's alright. I really like using it. Now, I don't really think there's a lot of flaws, to be honest, in the, what's it called, ARC Trooper. The only thing that I would say is bring back the old ARC Trooper. But apart from that, I say he's pretty good. He's quite fine. I like him. Okay, so at number 6, we have the B2 Super Battle Droid, who is basically, when you say Enforcer, he's what you think of. He is strong, has quite a bit of health, a good blaster, which has a good aim ability, and he has a brilliant melee, if I just show you here, where it's just a big punch straight into the face, or the chest, or wherever. So then, his 3 abilities are like classic Enforcer abilities. He has a Fortify, which gives you no heat on your gun, but it allows you to not sprint, and gives you like a way bad, mega, like, increased fire. So that you can go around doing all these types of things. And then he has a healing... No, that's the Fortify, sorry. I mean Overload. Fortify, which is your health one. Extra regen. And I think he has Siphon, so when you kill someone, he gets extra health. Let me check. Yes, he does. So whenever you get a kill, his health will be increased. So that's something great about him. And then his other ability, which puts him like high up on the list, is how he has a rocket, just like the aerial troops. And the rocket is brilliant. Like, just look at how much damage that thing does. It's basically an instant kill. Just put your head around the corner and shoot a rocket. And come on, it's a wrist rocket. What is there not to love about a flipping wrist rocket? Okay then, at number 5, we have the Commando Droid. Obviously he's not white, but this is one of his 6 appearances. Now the Commando Droid is a much, like, I love him. He's such a good unit. So, the Commando Droid has an amazing evade, which allows him to sort of like leap forwards. He has one of the greatest combos in this game, which I absolutely love, which is where he places down his smoke screen and activates a heat vision, therefore allowing the clones not to be able to see him and him to shoot through. See, right now if I don't have heat vision activated, I can't see smoke. Then I turn this on and then I can just go like crazy on them all. And then he has got one of my favourite abilities ever in the game. It's super duper satisfying to use as well. It's basically his Vibro Sword ability. On heroes, if he gets all reinforcements, if he gets all 3 hits on them, it knocks them over. And it's basically a much improved melee. It's his purple sword which he uses, and it leaps forwards. If I just I'm gonna die. I'll show you though. His sword allows him to like look. If I do it normally, it doesn't. If I sprint, he does like a jump, which is I think is brilliant, and he has like a great combo. You sprint, you use his evade, and then you use his sword. It gives you like a much increased speed, and the sword's ability recharge time is incredibly good. It's really high up. So that's why he's at number 5 on my list for today. Okay then, at number 4 we have the Imperial Death Trooper. It's night on this planet. I was intending it to be day, but this is fine. So he has the E11D, which is an improved blaster of the E11, which I think is an incredibly good blaster. He's sort of like, what's it called? The B2 that we reviewed a minute ago. So he has a Fortify ability here, gives him extra health, and I think Siphon when we kill other players. Let me check. One sec. Yes, it does. It gives you Siphon as well. What else does he have? He has his Smart Iron, I think. It's like this grenade. It's actually amazing. Just watch. It does a lot of damage to enemies, and allows you to get some good kills on people. And then he has an overload ability, like any other basic enforcer, which is super handy for the E11D, as it's already a fast firing gun, and giving it this much extra rate of fire gives it a massive damage output increase. And the one downside about him, I'd say, is his melee. unlike the B2, it's not that much of a strong melee. But I'm pretty sure he has more health. And his blaster is much, much, much better and more accurate. So he is at number 4. Okay, so at number 3, we have the, what are they called? I think it's the Avlysian Gunner. I'm pretty sure it is. Now, the Avlysian Gunner is a pretty good unit. They basically have the Sentry, which the Heavy uses, which is amazing for machine guns, except it's different, because it can overheat just like that. And you've got to charge it up before firing, but it's still a super fast and super good unit, and it's got a pretty strong melee. So the Avlysian Gunner has has 3 different things that it can do. It has a charge, just like Han Solo's shoulder charge, like that. It has a 3-hit melee, as I said, and a defensive stance. Sorry, it's basically overload and a fortify, so it reduces damage, explosive damage, and it also gives you no like heat gathering up on your weapon, and everybody around you gets if they're like near you, your other players, they get a explosive damage reduction. So then the final ability, oh my god, there are so many troopers. Move! Oh god, I'm so dead here. I won't be able to show you guys probably. Come on, just die. Alright, I'm going to be able to show you now. So it's basically, he switches to anti-armor. So basically it shoots an explosive sentry like this, which is utterly crazy on infantry and vehicles especially, for taking out all those pesky land speeders. Look at that. Explosive damage, and it's incredibly strong. Okay, so in second place we have the First Order's Sith Trooper. The Sith Trooper has a scanning ability, just like the ARC Trooper and the ISB, I think, which then allows them to see basically the entire of the enemy forces around them, which is so helpful. It gives you amazing flanking advantages. They have an ability just like the ISB, which gives them extra health and a increased sprint speed, just like this. So if I show you, once this has run out, this is the old sprint speed, like this, and this is with Combat Rush. See? So much quicker. They have an alternate fire, which shoots like 3 blasted bullets at once, in like a shotgun sort of formation, which is brilliant. Oh, this is perfect. There's a grenade called the Oppression Grenade, which shuts off their health, like completely, so that way we can't regen, which therefore allows you to get some pretty good damage. They also have a really good melee. They have, like most infiltrators, they have their own melee, so they punch like basic, of course, but when you sprint at somebody and do a melee, you do like a taekwondo kick thing. Look, watch. Ta! Which I think like staggers them for a second. But it's a really, really good unit in my opinion. And it's easy to get kills with because the blaster just shoots so quickly. Its rate of fire is like incredibly good. That's why the Sith Trooper is at number 2. Okay, and finally we have the Clone Commando, who I have put as the number 1 reinforcement unit. He has 3 skins, so he has this one which is called Jungle Striker. It's basically like some camouflage. He also doesn't have like an overheat. I think it's him reloading, because so when you reload a gun, it doesn't go like that. I really like it. It's like the opposite way when you overheat in this game. He has a good aim and a good blaster. It does a good amount of damage and has a good rate of fire. He has a really good melee, which is where he has like a knife on him, on like his wrist, I think, which is amazing for trying to take out enemies in close quarters. Okay, that was a bad example. What else does he have? Now I'll go across his abilities, silly me. So he has, first of all, this, I've forgotten the name of it, but it basically gives him damage reduction. So this way it's harder for him to actually take damage. There we go, I showed you some of that melee. It's brilliant. What else do we have? We have the... I need to get a good angle on it to show you guys, I'm sorry. If they all come up the stairs, watch. That's still a terrible example. Why isn't it working? No! It's basically, it like pushes them back like Luke's force push. Okay, I don't think it can happen to a sentry. There we go. It like does damage and it launches them backwards, which in my opinion is brilliant. If I just equip the damage reduction thing. Ah, for God's sake, it doesn't seem to work. But it's basically, it launches them back. It's like a wind thing that it shoots out of his wrist. It's really good in my opinion. What else do we have? Then his final ability. I need some space, and it's where I'm not being shot at for it to work. Because it takes like, this is the only downside about him. But there's like, this is nothing. It's like literally, it's like nothing bad. So when you have, so his final ability is called the anti-armor. Takes around 3 seconds to change, but that's why I don't like it. It takes 3 seconds. You have 3 shots of it before it needs to reactivate. And it's basically supposed to be used for vehicles, but I use it against heroes, and oh my god is it strong. Like, look, if I equip this as well, so we get battle focus on, get a lot less, 2 kills there, and then you can put it with a combo of having your basic gun, shooting at them all, and then you can go in for the melee strike on all of the troops that you've already hit. And it's just brilliant. I absolutely love the Clone Commander, and that is why he is the #1 reinforcement. Now guys, today this has been a really different video. We barely ever do videos like this. This is the first one. But if you have enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't. And we might make more. I'm going to do a hero one next, I think. Because I have really enjoyed making this. See you in the next one. Goodbye.